crop that local communities in some parts of the country now depend on it, and heavily, just like the regions of Peru and Bolivia, where the economies are sustained by growing the coca leaf, which is made into cocaine. The U.S. government's put a lot of pressure on Latin American governments to replace illegal crops with legal ones. We asked Beth Nissen to find out if, when it comes to marijuana, the U.S. practices at home what it preaches abroad.
In the Daniel Boone National Forest in eastern Kentucky, an armed patrol goes on a search and destroy mission against what is now the biggest cash crop in the United States.
You're asking other countries to step up to the plate in terms of eradicating their drugs. We must lead by example.
National Guard helicopters have been flying surveillance.
He's got it kind of fenced in with corn on all sides, but everything in the middle is dope.
They have pinpointed 500,000 plants for destruction, but authorities admit the whole effort may destroy only a small part of this year's crop. And in the hills of Kentucky, just as in the valleys of Peru, the anti-drug operations may destroy an unintended target, the region's economy.
Kentucky's just a step away from Latin America. If it wasn't for the marijuana industry, this place already would have folded up years ago. I mean, this has been helping us get along for the last 10 years.
Coal, once the black heart of the state's economy, is on the decline. In rural areas like Leslie County, marijuana is the only real growth industry. In the county seat of Hyden, a little town one curve long, bankers report that when the marijuana harvest is in, deposits go up, and merchants do as much as half their business in cash. Most residents in these parts don't talk much to strangers, but on area porches there is general agreement that about 4 out of every 10 families here grow some marijuana. What kind of people grow?
What kind? Well, every kind. Every kind. Old ladies, old men, young kids.
Everyone knows the math. A single plant can bring in $1,000.
It's a top price. You can get away with it.
This grower is trying to get away with it by scattering his plants in deep woods. Hard to spot from the air, hard to find on the ground. Why do you grow marijuana? Why don't you get a legal job?
Unemployment is very high in this state. There's not much for anybody to do.
I'm not the employment expert. I'm the drug czar. And my message to him is I don't have a responsibility to find him another job. I have a responsibility to the people of this country to tell him to stop.
To South American allies who are watching, that attitude is as wrong-headed in Kentucky as they believe it is in coca-producing countries. How do you persuade poor people not to grow the only crop that makes them money?
By providing them with economic and financial means to do something else as productive or more productive than cultivating drugs.
Straight back and easy does it. Straighten your front wheels up.
In Kentucky, there are no programs specifically designed to provide economic alternatives to marijuana. This state-run truck driving school does it inadvertently.
If it wasn't for this school, I would probably end up resorting to illegal activities.
You would grow dope?
Absolutely. Everybody else does.
The program can train 20 drivers at a time and place them in jobs immediately, but only half that number are enrolled due to lack of funds for teachers and truck fuel.
Easy does it now, not too fast.
Every time a drug helicopter choppers overhead, the program's administrator says he thinks taxpayer money is being spent the wrong way in the drug war.
Well, I'm sure that just the use of that helicopter a year would finance this program, and maybe a couple more teachers, more instructors too.
Officials in Kentucky and in Latin America say simply cutting drug crops takes too short a view. That without profitable legal alternatives, those desperate enough for the money will just work harder at drug production, will plant more, will keep law enforcement fighting a series of small firefights without any real victory. Beth Nissen, ABC News, Leslie County, Kentucky.
The Drug Enforcement Agency estimates that the domestic marijuana business now generates about $20 billion a year. And word of money to be made is spreading. The DEA estimates that marijuana is now being grown for profit in 46 of the 50 states. Back in a moment.